another cat comes, jumps in my lap.
All right.
You say
So
probably will.
recording. Yes, it is recording. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining. I am doing a video with a really good friend, someone that I met recently in Texas. This is Jessica. She is a very popular person in social media. She's achieved a lot. And the best thing is that she did it naturally. She didn't have any surgeries of any kind. And this woman was able to lose over 200 pounds. And I find it incredible because, you know, you barely even see people who do weight loss surgeries losing 200 pounds. And now you have someone that loses 200 pounds naturally. So Jessica, I want to congratulate you for that. It's amazing, very inspirational. It motivates me even more. And yeah, welcome, and just, I guess, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your story, what clicked and made you want to change.
All right, so my name is Jessica, or I'm known on Instagram as Warrior Jessica / is fat. But so I was 32, you know, just going on with life, living unhealthy, you know, working as a nurse. You know, I was just constantly in pain. My back hurt, you know, everything just hurt. Just doing any typical anything was like painful for me. And I was tired of it. So, you know, I was just like, okay, there's a game called Diet Bet. So I was like, maybe I need to do something that will motivate me or something. So I played this game. So that's what got me on the scale, because you have to weigh in, so you know how much weight to lose in those 4 weeks. So I was not expecting to see 354.2 pounds. Wow. Yeah. So that was a wake-up call. That was like, okay, you need to do something. And I kept on seeing this advertisement on Facebook pop up for it was called a New Year, New You challenge. And the final prize was $100,000. So I was like, maybe I should do that. Just try it. You know, if I win or not, you know, just something to motivate me, to keep me going. You know, I need something. You know, if money's going to motivate you, let it. And, you know, just playing my little diet bet games, that just kind of helped a lot. And so, I mean, I joined the gym. I went the same day. It was a Saturday. Instead of waiting to Monday, I didn't wait till Monday to start. I started that Saturday. And so I went ahead and I tried the boot camp, and I did boot camp, and it wasn't easy, but you know, my trainers were great. They worked with me. So I've always had trainers. I've always worked with trainers. They also worked with me on nutrition. So that was the biggest thing, was working on nutrition, because let's face it, whether you have weight loss surgery, no matter what you do, like, it's just the tool. Like, you still need to be able to work out, eat healthy, and just having someone guide me and someone ride my butt helped a lot, because that's how they, you know, they would watch my Instagram, because I was always active on there, and you know, that wasn't healthy, and oh shoot, okay. I got somebody watching me. I guess I better do this right. So that just kind of helped. And I mean, month after month, I just kept on going. I worked 48 hours a week. So that was one of my excuses. So how can I fit this into my schedule? And so I figured it out. Instead of coming home, sitting on the couch and been watching, you know, Netflix, you know, instead of doing that stuff, you know, I made time to go to sleep early, set out my gym clothes, pack my work bag, because I can change there and just go to work. I had to make it work. There's a way around it. You just have to figure it out, and you're not going to figure it out right away. It takes time. So I focused on the first 21 days, because they say it takes 21 days to establish a new routine. So, okay, let me focus. I know if I can make it 3 weeks, I got this. So I kind of focused on that. And I focused on the small goals at a time, instead of like looking like I need to lose 200 pounds. That can be so discouraging. So every month I did the 4%. You know, it was my goal for the diet bet game. So I just did that, and that kind of helped a lot, setting a small goal. I mean, 4% is hard every month, but I did it. And so that kind of like proved to myself, and hey, I can do this. So I did do it, and here we are, you know, over 200 pounds lost, and I'm learning how to have balance now and, you know, enjoy here and there. But I really didn't have cheat meals in the very, very beginning. I got to 200 and maybe 13, 14 pounds. Then I had my cheat meal. The owner was like, hey, let's get to 220. Then no cheats right now. Get there, and then I'll take you out wherever you want to go, wherever you want to eat. I'll pay for it. Okay. All right. Okay. So we did it again. He, you know, instead of, okay, what's the next one? I said, well, let's get to half my weight, 177. And so I did that just a year ago. I got to like 177 just a year ago. And so I got to go pick anywhere I wanted to go again. And so I did it. And I think that really helped a lot with establishing that healthy relationship with food. And it proved to me, and it just really helped with my discipline, building my discipline and just staying consistent. Just, I made that time to meal prep every Sunday or Wednesday, the days that I'm off. That's when I just spend time just meal prepping, and it's a lot of work, but I mean, if you want it, you're gonna have to work.
You're gonna have to work it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, I had a similar situation, but one thing that I like to ask people is, did you ever have that mental problem with food, that anxiety? How did you, you know, if you did, how did you overcome it? Like, you dieted so strict for so long.
Yeah.
You know, when you had that cheat meal, did that kind of like start and make you want to eat something after that cheat meal? Like, did it start the problem? Because as you and I both know, this whole obesity problem, 95% of it is all up here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what would you say to the person that is really doubting themselves and thinks that, oh my God, I can't go, you know, have a cheat meal after I lose 100 pounds?
Yeah. I think it was really like the mind over matter. You know, I figured out, how can I have something that I love that's healthier? So if I wanted pasta, chicken spaghetti. If I wanted something sweet, I would get something sugar-free and make something with protein powder, the chocolate protein powder. You got cocoa, and, you know, I just figured things out to help me. And once there's something that, like, once your mouth tastes something, you know, it kind of does something mentally. So you're like, oh, I am having what I want. And it just kind of helped kind of trick me or whatever. And
that's awesome. That's
he
awesome.
wants his love. And
so let's see, what other question that I know that a lot of women have asked me these questions. When you were 354 pounds. So I mean, obviously I saw you in the videos and you're able to move, you were able to walk. What would you say to those people that are bigger than what you were, that it's hard for them to get off the couch? You know, that really know that it's just like,
yeah,
they want to do it, but they just physically can't.
Yeah. So it comes to nutrition. That's where it's going to come to. I watched a video, you know, with the muscle building and all that. Like, I've watched a lot of YouTube videos, and I watched one video on the musclebuilding.com on their YouTube. But one of the guys, he was in the same situation. So he couldn't really, I mean, any little physical activity, if you're sitting and you can just get some really light dumbbells and just raise them, you just anything that's like really light, anything you can do. But his thing was the food. Instead of eating, I can't remember exactly how much he ate, but let's just say, for instance, he ate 8 hamburgers a day. Instead of eating 8 hamburgers, he ended up eating like 6. So that puts him in a calorie deficit. So eating less, just a little bit less each week, is going to help them, you know, lose weight, because it really does come down to the calorie deficit.
So basically what you're saying is, even if you're not that very active, the fact that you just eat less calories.
Yeah, smaller portions, not 1,200 calories. Most likely, if you're eating anywhere 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 calories a day, if you're eating like 5,000 calories a day, you go down to 4,000 calories a day. And then eventually you keep cutting it down and down and down. Eventually you will lose weight. because your body's used to 5,000 calories, and all of a sudden you cut it down to 4,000 calories, and then you cut it down to 3,000. You know, there ain't no telling how many calories I ate back then. So the matter of the fact with me was that I quit eating fast food and I started cooking my own food. So that helped a lot. Having an air fryer helps too, you know, to cook some chicken up real quick or some fish. And I would do like frozen vegetables instead of like doing like the processed stuff and fast food, and just doing those little changes really helped. Not only that, it comes down to what you're drinking, because those are calories in those sodas. So even if they just cut out sodas and start drinking water, even if it's like flavored water that has no calories in it, you know, that would help a lot. Or even Coke Zero. Like, I don't mind having a Coke Zero every once in a while. That kind of helps me with that Coke thing, because, you know, I like having a little soda here and there. Right. So it's just a matter of small changes that lead to bigger changes over time.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I agree with you. And I tell that to a lot of people. So, I mean, ladies, guys that are listening, it's very simple. Eat less. Eat the same things you're eating. The fact that if you just eat less, you're going to drop. And then as soon as you're able to get physical, what would be the, I worked out with you in your boot camp, and it was intense.
Yeah.
And I had lost a lot of weight, and it was still intense for me, because I was used to just like cardio in the machine and doing weights.
Yeah, it's different.
I give you props, because it was
not easy, you know, at all, but I just did what I could. You know, I had to, you know, get in my head and be like, okay, I can't compare myself to these other people that have been in here longer than I have.
That's what I wanted you to say.
Yeah.
I wanted you to say.
Yeah, so I quit comparing. You have to quit comparing yourself, even on social media, to other people's journey, because you may not lose weight as fast as this person did. You know, I lost weight really fast, but I mean, I went like into everything, and then I started increasing my workouts, and I just went with it, and I just made it a lifestyle change instead of making it a diet, because diets fail. If you make it a lifestyle change, and it just kind of did something for me mentally, because now I know I can go have a what we call a treat meal now instead of cheat. You can call it treat, because you know you earned it, especially if you worked hard. But you don't want to have it a whole weekend or a whole day, because that will mess up your progress. So, you know, just making it a meal, it helped, but sometimes it doesn't always work. As you know, you want to enjoy here and there, but it's the fact that I know now that I'm not going back to my old base. I've already established this lifestyle, so I'm going back into it. And then there's no guilt. I know the scale's going to go up, but it can go back down. The scale is just a source. It doesn't define who I am. It doesn't define my value. It doesn't, none of that. You know, I've learned that. And that's why people ask me, where's your current weight? And sometimes I'm like, I don't always weigh myself all the time now. It's about how I feel, how I'm looking. Hello, you want to make an appearance too?
A guest star appearance.
Yeah.
So
they're like, oh, mom sent down, attention.
Now, let me ask you, because a lot of women, and I know men do too, but a lot of women are freaking out. There's a few things. Is the number on the scale. Sometimes you eat a pancake and maybe your body took it a certain way, and you went up a pound, 2 pounds. It's not real pounds, but it affects.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have that mentality that you should focus on the scale, or are you more the person of like, just go by how you look, how your clothes fits?
In the beginning, you know, I was, you know, doing the scale, but, you know, I lost the weight. So now my thing is like finding where am I comfortable at and just maintaining within that range and just moving forward. You know, now I'm not really all that concerned with the scale as much. You know, I will weigh myself every so often just to kind of see like where am I at, and that way it kind of reminds me if I am having a little too much fun, I need to get my crap together so I don't end up going back. But eventually, whenever I get back into another prep for a show, then I'll be kind of paying attention to see like where I'm at, like with my weight and fat loss. also. So there comes a time when it is important to kind of keep, you know, grasp of it. But like every day as a woman, we fluctuate. I can eat a little bit of carbs, and guess what? I'm going to store water because of the glycogen storage. So like it, you know, especially now with muscle building, it's actually very important. And, you know, I'm looking at myself and I'm like, you know, I know a little TMI, but my butt looks bigger. And, you know, of course I collect it in my skin too. You know, everybody does different with their body, and that's just kind of like what my body does. Like I'll hold some in my stomach or in my thighs. And so it's just like, just every day, just working through it, just getting up in the morning, going, doing my workout, and, you know, just keep on moving forward. And eventually, you know, we'll get to where we need to. But I don't stress myself out over it anymore. And
Right.
I look in the mirror and I smile, and that's where it's really about.
That's awesome. That's really good. I mean, I know where you're coming from, and I know how it feels. It's like it mentally, it can frustrate you. I mean, at least me, I'll give you an example. My last show was November 29th, and I I needed a break because I felt that I just dieted so hard, so extreme for so long. And I thought about taking a week off. I ended up taking pretty much a month. And I was actually in Houston for 10
Yeah.
of those there. And my body just went from completely shredded to like just normal. Like you lose everything that you do, that you work for so hard, you lose it. So mentally it messes up. And it's funny that ever since I've been back, now I'm back to kind of right before I close the competition. You know what I mean? In the sense of weight and clothes, how it's fitting. So it's you know, it can mess us up. But I want to ask you, during your journey, did you ever have a time that you stopped dieting, that you gave up on the process, and then maybe like, you know, if you did, what did you do to get back on course?
So in the past, yes, I've been trying to lose weight since I was like a teenager. But this time, you know, I just stayed the course. And if I had my cheat meal and I had what I needed and I got satisfied, if I keep thinking about it, and I keep on at this point right now, if I keep thinking about it, I keep on thinking about my chips and my queso and my fajitas, go get it. Like, why fight with myself and do that to myself? Because that can eventually, I can lead to a binge. And I figured that out one time, and I did that, and I just ate a bunch of food one night, and I'm like, you know, instead of like depriving myself of what I want, you know, I'm okay. I know that the scale's going to go up, but I know that I'm going to meal prep and I'm going to get back. I'm back at it. And I just like, cause it's my lifestyle now. It's my routine. I made it a priority to go work out in the morning before work. And eventually, you know, the water weight, a lot of times it's water weight. It'll come back off. And now it's just keep moving forward.
Yeah. And it's true about the water weight. In the last week, from Wednesday to Saturday morning that I weighed myself, I dropped 14 pounds.
Oh yeah.
It was all water. It was all water.
Yep.
So
yeah, I did, last week I did 6 pounds. I lost 6 pounds. Even after we had the, you know, waffles and chicken, you know, I actually didn't.
We're not allowed to have that. I'm just playing.
I know. Oh man, no.
Everyone,
But you know,
JC, everyone thinks fat free with JC is a robot.
now you gotta enjoy every once in a while. So that's what people do need to know. It's okay to enjoy, but you got to get back on track. And you drink your water. See, I made it a meal. I had it early, and I kept everything healthy the rest of the day. And I stayed, and I was proud of myself. And guess what? I didn't gain any weight. Normally, I would end up gaining weight, and I didn't, because I kept everything, you know, pretty much low carb the rest of the day and lean protein, and it helped. And sometimes, like if I do have a fatty meal or something, I actually end up more satisfied. Like even my mom was like, I noticed something. When you eat healthy, you're snacking a lot. You're always hungry. But when you have a fatty meal, you know,
You told me that story. It's true. It's true.
Yeah, because our body like burns it up so quick. And then, and it's like, I just had something a little while ago, and then I'm like, I'm hungry again.
So yeah, it's true. I mean, so just so you guys that are listening, Jessica and I, we went to have breakfast with my wife and my son at a restaurant over there, and we killed these amazing waffles with chicken wings. They were amazing, not
Yeah.
healthy, but they were amazing. And look what she did. She had that for breakfast, and the rest of the day she ate normal. And those are the little things that, you know, those are the little messages that I want everyone to get from these videos, that, you know, not everybody's perfect. And you see, like I see her and the amazing job she did, and you think, oh my God, you know, I'll never do that. And well, you know what she does? She cheats also. She does do things, and I do too. And, you know, I just want you guys to know that you can live a normal life, or have that pizza and still do it. Just don't, if you mess up for breakfast, don't mess up the rest of the day. Because I know that's what all you guys do, because I would do it too.
Yeah.
So,
Or you think, oh, well, crap, I already ate this bad meal. Let me just throw the rest of the day out the way.
exactly.
Sometimes I still do it, but, you know, but then, you know, I'm back, you know, on point. But, you know, I mean, we're human. We're going to make mistakes, and it's going to happen. You know, don't punish yourself. That's the worst thing you can do. Self-sabotage, any of that. That's just the worst. It's going to like mess with you mentally, and you just tell yourself, it's okay. It's okay. You know, I can get back on track. I can go for a walk. Sometimes one of my friends, what we'll do if we know we're going to go have brunch or something, we'll go, and it's a beautiful area in the Woodlands, Texas. And so they have this river walk type of thing, and it's gorgeous and it's nature. And so we'll go have brunch and then we'll go for a walk. It's not a big deal right now. It's like right now that I'm not in prep for a show, I'm like, I can enjoy a little bit. I know once, and even she's excited, and, you know, cause she's a foodie. We're foodies. We live, Houston is freaking food hub. You know, it's amazing. All the cultures and all the food. So you got to learn how to enjoy, but, you know, keep it like, it's called the 80-20% rule. So sometimes when you get to that point, you know, like right now it's off season, so it's like we can enjoy a little bit with the competition. So 80% healthy, and then 20%, you know, a little bit bad. But, you know, for the most part of it, it's healthy.
Okay. All right. So what are your next goals? Tell me what do you plan on doing?
Well, I'm trying to be like you. Get on that stage.
You're better.
I already got one.
That's like I put on all the comments. You're a badass.
I already got one championship. Now I want more. I want to do it again. And I want to, you know, stand on stage for women and show them, you know, even with loose skin, don't let it hold you back. It's your battle wound. Of course, you know, one day, like I'll get mine removed. But right now it's just loving myself for who I am and embracing my body, because I worked hard.
Yep.
You know, 2 years of this, busting my butt off. I want to show off this hard work, and, you know, you'll get more respect for that. Just being honest, like, you know, being confident. I went in a bikini, stepped on stage in a bikini and with loose skin. Yeah, I didn't let that, you know, hold me back, and I ended up winning.
That's amazing.
Because they didn't judge me on my skin. They judged me on my journey and where I started and where I am and everything I did in between. And so that was the amazing part. So the next goal is, I think I may end up doing, because I never heard anything back from WBFF. So I may just end up go ahead and doing the Orlando show. Cause I can have a little vacation too, and it'd be nice to see some blue water. And, you know, we have Galveston, but it's like brown, you know, kind of dirty looking waters. So to see some blue water would be nice. And then, you know, my body will be even more shape. And so I'm thinking, since I will be able to lose more weight, more body fat is like the biggest goal. You know, I think that would be like the best time, you know, after show to, you know, go get that tuck done.
Nice.
Most likely,
nice.
Possibly. We'll see what happens. Most likely, yeah. Yeah. I think it would help me a lot, because I feel like the skin is like delaying my progress, like with, you know, and it can still mess with me mentally, but, you know, I try to be mentally strong. You know, I can only be so strong. We're human.
Right. But let me tell you something. It's not delaying your progress, because you're doing all the changes, and all the changes are happening. It's just
I just can't see it.
Have that blanket that blocks what you want to do. And
Yeah.
I'm having surgery February 1st. So I'm in 2 weeks, it's gone. So, and you saw my pictures. I was able to get extremely lean
Yeah.
where you can see them. And that still wasn't, it wouldn't let me see more.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Now that we talk about skin, that's another topic. A lot of women are embarrassed about having saggy skin. I spoke to a friend, and I'm not going to say who she is, but
Right.
and you don't have to answer this question like you, but like she said that she was very nervous to be intimate with guys because she had some saggy skin and she lost all her weight. And let me tell you, she looks amazing. She looks amazing. Like, and isn't
Yes.
it like amazing because you lost the weight? No, this girl looks like if she was never fat before.
Yeah.
And
See, the
she's
bad
glowing.
thing
What do you say
about
to
us
girls that
women,
feel like that?
we are our worst critics. We're our own worst critics. We'll pick every little thing out that we don't like about ourselves. But I think it comes down to self-love, loving yourself, saying self-affirmations over yourself, like I'm sexy, I'm beautiful, just anything. You can look up self-affirmation and just repeat those things over yourself. I love me, and just accepting yourself for who you are. And I mean, if the guy doesn't freaking like you, then screw him.
Of course.
Like, you worked hard for that body. And a lot of times guys don't care, if they like you for you. If he don't like you, then he needs to go out the door, because that's not going to work. It's gonna be a bad relationship. It's going to be toxic, and it's just going to be bad. It can really do some damage to yourself, and it can take some time to heal from like damage from a damn guy. Like, I've been there. I've been in a relationship, where I was treated like crap and stuff, and it did a lot of damage to me, especially as a young woman. And it's hard to open myself up to anybody and, let anybody in. I haven't dated in like 2 years. And, when I'm ready, COVID hits and it's like, I've done good so far, and I've been able to stay free of the virus. And I've even been in close
Yeah.
proximity with it in a situation, but I was able to keep myself protected. And so I able to escape it. So I'm like, dating is just like, it's so risky. But then, that comes to my mind too. I'm like, if I have loose skin, what if he doesn't like me? And then I start thinking to myself, I'm like, well, screw him. If you don't like me for me, with or without the skin, then I don't need you.
Right.
I don't.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's what I wanted to hear, because so many people tell me, they're like, oh, I'm so afraid of having saggy skin, and they don't do anything about it. So it's like they'll stay fat to avoid the saggy skin. And I'm like, what? I would love to have saggy
I'd
skin.
rather just have this damn skin than being 354 pounds. But they use it as excuse, because I've done the same thing too. I'm like, oh, well, I don't want that loose skin. I just made up all these excuses because I didn't want to face the fact that to get healthy, I really have to put in the work. And at the time, I didn't want to do the work. Until I was like, finally, it was 354.2 pounds. And it was like, okay, you got to do something. Or eventually one day I am going to end up having diabetes. I'm going to end up with cardiac issues because it runs in my family. And, I don't want to die in my 50s of having a heart attack.
That's insane. That's insane. All right. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have any other question that I think is like super important. I mean, is there anything that you would want to say that maybe I haven't asked you, or maybe like if there's the most important takeaway, like advice that you can give to men and women or whoever, what would it be during this whole process?
Well, the biggest thing is believing in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, it's not going to happen. You have to like really believe in yourself, love yourself, accept yourself, even if you're plus size or whatever. That's what I did, because you're going to lose weight, and then guess what? You're going to have loose skin. So with me doing that helped a lot. I don't have any issues. I'm like, I'll wear whatever I want to. And because I did that while I was plus size. And that's like the beautiful thing, is even though like I just couldn't live in that body anymore, but I was confident in, in who I was. Like, I wore my dresses and I loved myself even then. So that's the biggest thing. It's like loving yourself for who you are now, because your body's going to go through some changes. And even though I have loose skin, and that's what helped me win, you know, the trophy. And because like I came out with confidence. That's the biggest thing, is like having that confidence. Confidence is sexy, no matter what you look like, who you are, or any of that. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, confidence is sexy. So it's really, you know, just believing in yourself, and just believing that whatever you think is impossible is actually possible, and that there's hope when everything feels hopeless. There is hope.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. I can't agree anymore. I can't agree more. So yeah, I think we pretty much covered a lot of the topics that, you know, that at least I feel that of the questions that I'm getting from people.
Yeah.
If you're too heavy and you can't exercise, just cut your calories. If you're going to exercise, just start. Like I tell everybody, start walking. Just by walking, by moving, by.
If it's 5 minutes, it's 5 minutes. Next day, try 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Next week, try 10 minutes. You just build your way up, you know. I mean, it was hard as hell, like working out and doing, like, I get half of the stuff that I do now, it wouldn't have happened then. You know, I had to have modifications, but I kept on trying, and eventually I got stronger. And as I lost weight, I was able to do more, you know, move a lot better. And it takes time. I think the biggest thing is that as humans, we're impatient. The biggest thing is like having, you know, patience to actually just taking the time. The weight's not coming off fast enough. Guess what? It took us a lifetime to put this weight on. So it's not going to happen overnight. And then you have to think of it as in other metaphors, like Rome. Rome wasn't built overnight. So the weight's not going to come off like that fast. You're not going to be skinny the next morning or whatever. And I mean, yeah.
Well, you know what? I got one more question that I just remembered now. Now, you know what? Now I'm blanking out. Oh, okay. Hold on. This is the last one, I promise. I know you're hungry.
I'm gonna get hangry in a minute.
You did it naturally. You lost all that weight naturally, 200 pounds. So there's a lot of people that are like, oh my God, I have to lose 200 pounds. So if I lose 100, I still weigh 300. If I lose another 100, I'm still at 200. You know, what do you say to that person that wants to have weight loss surgery? Would you recommend it? Would you tell them to try doing it how you did it first? Would you just say, you know what, just do it? Or what do you think about that? Because
yeah, I mean, I never had anything against weight loss surgery. I looked into it to myself because I thought there was no other way around it. But, you know, I don't have $16,000 or, you know, it was like that doctor's, that I was like, what? That much? And my insurance is not going to cover it. And so like, and this was a while back, and I was just like, you know, I need to give myself one real shot. Give it everything that I got and just see if I can do it. And finally, when I was ready to make those changes in my life, here I am now. I mean, I did it. And, you know, it's hard, you know, when you don't have, your stomach is not, you know, cut, or, you know, however, whatever they do in the sleeve and stuff. So it's hard. Like, I'm hungry, you know, I'm hungry all the time. And sometimes I just want to eat, and I just don't feel satisfied. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, especially, you know, with women, we have hormones. And sometimes those hormones just like, I get real munchy, and I'm like, it's hard, like doing it, you know, naturally. But, you know, I'm glad I did, because there are complications that come with surgery and different things. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people know about it because they already gone through it, but there was just so many complications, and having to take a whole bunch of vitamins because your body can't absorb because you can only eat so much. And I've been around some people that have had the surgery, and I was like, they really go through a lot. And I know that social media makes things look glamorous, but you know, and then I see some stuff and I'm like, this isn't so glamorous, having to go to the bathroom and throw up because you drank too much water or you ate too much, because, you know, you still want to eat. But you just have to outweigh the cons and the bads to it. And just the biggest thing was just, for me, was just, let's see if we can do this, just try. And I did it. And just by, you know, being in that calorie deficit, and I figured out, you know, lean proteins like chicken, fish, a lot of vegetables fill me up. A couple hours later, yeah, I'm hungry. And so I'll have something else. I'll have like a yogurt. I might throw in a little bit of nuts to have a little bit of healthy fats. So that way it kind of triggers my brain, like the healthy fats does something and like tells you that you're full and, you know, makes you more satisfied. A little bit of carbs seems to help balance me out. So, you know, it takes time getting that down. And they say that our stomach shrinks, but I'm like, I don't know about that because I can throw it down still.
That's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
there you have it. Ladies that are listening to her, this is a woman who lost over 200 pounds, who super hard to move. And she was able to do it on her own. Of course, she had support with trainers and things like that. And she didn't have that one-on-one type of training. I went to her boot camp. It's general. There's a trainer there and everyone does their thing and she made it happen. So you girls that are complaining that, oh, I can't lose 10 pounds. Yes, you can.
You can. It's going to come down to what you're eating and drinking alcohol. That's a big thing too, because alcohol has a lot of sugars and stuff. And so sugar, that's another thing. If you cut back on sugar, carbs, and fats, you're going to lose.
Of course, you're going to lose. All right. Well,
yeah.
I mean, Jessica, I want to thank you for taking your Saturday, these 45 minutes, an hour, whatever it was, to you know, give inspiration to people, especially to women that ask me a million questions and I can't give an answer from a woman's point of view. So I hope that this video does change at least one life, that it changes one body, and that's it. Thank you so much for meeting me over there in Texas and doing this with me. You're very inspirational. I look up to you and I know you're going to compete. So I know a lot of little tricks. So whatever questions, whatever you need, I'll be more than happy to help you. And I'm telling you right now, and I know people say this, whether you win or lose, you're a winner, but you're going to win.
I already won more, so one of them. So why not win another one?
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So thank you so much again for joining me here.
No problem. That's good.
Go and have that burrito.
Right. I'm going to make my little taco thing.
All right. Thanks again.
Alrighty. Bye.
Bye.